Hey all. To appease all the people that say I talk too much, I'm going to go through this one and at the end go through the tuning and the chord shapes because the tuning's different. Okay, I found that one on YouTube and it's just called Pre-Road Downs Demo. I don't know if that's Graham's official YouTube channel or not, but I actually prefer that version of all the versions of that Pre-Road Downs that I've heard. I like that one. Okay, so the tuning, the way I think of the tuning is E, 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 all four E's, B, E. Except typically, I think in the studio that like Stephen wrote a bunch of songs in the tuning. Graham not so many, but Stephen did a bunch. The tuning on in the studio I think was E E E E B E. Live though, it's usually down to D. I think this one's D or maybe even a little lower than that. But the key to it is the first four are all the same. The fifth string is a fifth up, and then the high string goes to where the other four are. So it's that. Those kinds of chord shapes you can. I love the one you're with is that 4 and 20 is that. They're that same tuning, probably somewhere between C and E, but all that same intervals. Some people swear that it's actually E, B, again E or wherever you are, E, B, E, E, B, so that the A and the B are both tuned the same to that fifth note up. But it's not. Stephen has told a story how he got this tuning from Bruce Palmer, and he's even spelled it out and said it's E, E, B. And just 2 or 3 years ago, Graham did a really cool interview with Acoustic Guitar Magazine, which I think you'll find online, talking about his newer material. And he's explaining in there, yeah, I got that tuning from Stephen, and I rarely use it, but I used it on this one, and he actually spelled it out and said what it is. So it's you can do tune that A string to B if you want, and still do in fact, almost identical chords for anything you play. because it's still part of that modal thing. But that's not the way Stephen does the tuning, or for that matter, Graham does the tuning for songs like this. So there you have the tuning. So it's this. And now the way to think of the chord shapes, I'm going to let you figure them out, because here's the only thing you need to know. All the chords are done on the B and E strings. Again, not tuned that way, but B and E strings. So the chord shapes are either B string 1 fret up from the E, or wherever you are, B string 2 frets up from the E. So those are the only 2 chord shapes for the whole tune. So there's only there's a finite number of possibilities of what each one is going up the neck, right? Because the highest one is here, up at 12 on the B. So between 0 and 12 on the B string and 10 on the E. Those are all the chord shapes you could possibly do with those 2 fingers. So my advice to you is to sound out and listen for, probably easier to find the high E string on those chords. So if you don't know what it is, okay, that sounds right. And I know the second one is higher. There you go. Okay, so I got that one. So I know the B is either going to be 1 fret up from that, or 2 fret on all those chord shapes. There you go. Found it right away. And that's how I figured the song out. Literally, that's how I did it. So once you get that, because there's no tab, or there might be, I guess. There probably is somewhere. But I don't read tab. I don't use tab. I don't have time for it. This took, you just saw, that took 1 minute to figure that out. Goes down from there, so it's either going to be this or that. There, I got it right there. And then it goes back into it, goes through that little break, which is the same chord, down to that one at the 2nd fret. Then it starts up again. I think it sounds like on this recording he's just using this, but I'm using a pick. The second time through it'll 2 frets apart, 1 fret apart, 2 frets apart, 2 frets apart, down to 1 fret apart. But then it starts over again. That's the whole tune. And we're 8.5 minutes in, so we've gone through it, we've played through it, we've talked about the tuning and the legend of the Bruce Palmer modal tuning, and we figured it out, literally figured it out as we're playing it. So within 10 minutes, that's the thing to do, is challenge yourself. Okay, I got 10 minutes, I'm going to learn something, I'm going to learn Beatles, what you're doing. Good tune, only a few chords in it. Google, go on YouTube. Probably won't find it on YouTube because the Beatles block everything. But find a recording of whatever tune you want to do. Love Me Do, whatever it is. And do it just like that. Give yourself 10 minutes. In fact, I came up with that 10-minute thing about, I don't know, 25 years ago or something. 30 years ago. And I said, you know, that song Blackbird, Beatles tune, great song. I'm going to learn that in 10 minutes. See if I can do it. Put it on, sat there, figured out. It was 8.5 minutes. I had it. I could play through it in 8.5 minutes. Challenge yourself to do that. Would I have been able to do that after only playing guitar for 6 months? No. Could I do it after playing for 10 years? Yeah. So put in the time and work on things like that. Set a goal for something that you don't think you can play. That for you, that might be, if you like that kind of music, Cliffs of Dover. Set that as your goal. That was never my goal. My goal was like Bram Rar, Zeppelin tunes, and that's one that I said when I can eventually figure that tuning out, because that was in the days when you couldn't look them up. Yeah. I figured if I can do that, then I'll call myself a guitar player. And then you finally get that, and you're like, that wasn't so hard. Well, what's the next little plateau? I want to play this, Achilles' Last Stand. I want to do that one. And then once you get that, you're like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. I could probably... What's the next one I figure out? What's the one that I can't do that I wish I could? So that's the way I think of guitar playing. Even now, I still think of it like that. And try something new that you haven't done before. So anyway, that's Pre-Road Downs. Good luck.